Chosen one. This is a sacred moment designed for you, deeply embedded in the essence of your life. You did not accidentally arrive here. It was orchestrated by a higher power. Today, the mysteries begin to reveal themselves. Death had its sights on you, not once, but thrice. Yet, on each occasion, death let you be. Now, it's time to understand why. Have you ever left a situation in awe of your continued existence? Felt as though time itself paused to keep you safe? Escaped a close call with a vehicle? Left a tumultuous space just in time? Survived an illness that should have been fatal? Overcome a darkness that sought to engulf your mind? Here you stand, breathing, aware, transformed. This is not mere chance. It's not luck. Scripture states, "For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways." Psalm 91:11. Your existence has been protected with meticulous care. Heaven's intervention was intentional. It wasn't a random act of kindness, but a purposeful act to ensure your destiny remains intact. Your mission is irreplaceable. Your presence on earth is a piece of divine strategy. The adversary recognized the gravity of your purpose and tried to end it prematurely. But heaven decreed that your story wasn't finished. You've sensed it, haven't you? A feeling that time is reshaping, an awakening stirring within you, a calm before transformation. It's not mere perception, it's remembrance. Your soul is beginning to recall what your mind had forgotten. This is when everything starts to align. The battles, the near-deaths, the endurance, all have led you to this moment. And it's not just for you, but for all who are connected to your purpose. Your waiting was never a denial, only preparation. Now, as you step into this divine role, simply affirm your readiness within. Recognize this moment as the start of your journey back to your true purpose. Stay with me, as we will conclude with a prayer that affirms all that heaven has initiated. The time has come. Let's understand what divine protection means and why you have escaped death. Dear one, the truth is straightforward. You were not meant to survive, according to worldly views. All the hardships, the trauma, the violence, the illness, the despair should have consumed you. They didn't, because a sacred force was standing guard. That force is divine protection. This isn't about superstition or mere survival. It's not because you were stronger, wiser, or more worthy than others who didn't make it. Divine protection is an unseen shield reserved for lives imbued with purpose. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. Jeremiah 1:5. Those destined for a higher calling often find themselves born into turmoil, with fractured families, burdens of ancestral curses, and inner struggles. But from the first moment, unseen forces were guiding you away from ruin. A confrontation avoided, a path untaken, a timely delay. These were not random occurrences. They were divine interventions. Take the story of Elijah, pursued and exhausted, hiding in a cave, despairing of life. Yet, even there, angels brought him sustenance. Within that shelter, his mission continued. Death has drawn near, scrutinized, and encircled you. Yet heaven has continually decreed, not yet. It wasn't about what you deserved, but because your mission remains alive. There are breakthroughs you are destined to deliver. Souls only you can touch. Words only you can express. Protection does not always wear peace as its face. It might come as solitude, in pain, or a door shutting as you approach. What seemed like punishment was, in truth, preservation. Even when you cried out, "Where is God?" He was there, preventing the trials meant to end you. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Psalm 23:4. Your survival isn't arbitrary. It's evidence. You've been spared, protected, and sanctified for such an exceptional time. Death has tried and failed. Now, walk as one enveloped by a divine shield. Your first brush with death wasn't happenstance. It was a proclamation. Even before you knew you were chosen, your spirit was under attack. The adversary noticed your light long before you discovered your voice. It aimed to cut short the divine plan soon in its unfolding. That initial attack was not just of the flesh, but also of the spirit. Some of you encountered this battle in the womb, complications and close encounters before you even took your first breath. Others faced illness, accidents, abuse, or debilitating fear haunting your childhood. It might have appeared as typical suffering, but it wasn't. It was the early attempt to derail your destiny. The enemy doesn't wait for you to become strong. It fears the potential you hold and strikes while you are defenseless. Yet, divine protection wrapped around you. You were under its care even before you were aware. The Lord will keep you from all harm. He will watch over your life. Psalm 121:7. And indeed, He did. You choked but received help, battled sudden illnesses that vanished just as they came, endured nightmares, and faced inexplicable accidents. Each moment concealed a battle, fought on your behalf. Some of you were set apart from birth, feeling deeply, sensing what others could not, dreaming of future truths. These were not fantasies but the beginning flickers of a gift, providing you with insight. Instead of burdening you, this insight gives you sovereignty. To you, survival was more than luck. It was deeply tied to your life's mission. Selah. When death spared you the first time, it marked a turning point. A doorway opened. You began to feel more profoundly, think differently, and carry an unexplainable weight. That experience not only left you alive, but awakened. Your continued existence was not by chance. Your timeline was safeguarding your path. Your purpose was undeterred by potential interruptions. Heaven declared, the narrative is not concluded. From then on, nothing about your journey was ordinary. You were being tempered by fire, not for ruin, but for your destiny. If your beginning felt oppressive, it's because you conquered adversities beyond what others could. You emerged not merely surviving, but transformed. Your second escape wasn't marked by bullets or sharp objects, but by an internal collapse. This time, death approached quietly, through exhaustion, through silence, through the gradual loss of hope. You weren't battling for your body, you were fighting for your mind. Although outwardly you might have seemed functional, cheerful, and moving forward, internally you were unraveling. This was a spiritual assault, subtle yet no less deadly. After the initial failure, the enemy altered its strategy, turning inward and planting lies in your thoughts in your own voice. You're not enough, too damaged, no use in continuing. It twisted your comprehension, blurred your goals, and sapped your joy. You may have spent long periods submerged in depression, suffocating loneliness or anxiety where even trivial tasks felt insurmountable. Perhaps no one noticed, but the divine did. The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit. Psalm 34:18. Perhaps you were in toxic atmospheres that depleted your spirit or carried unseen wounds no one could fathom. And still, you endured. Perhaps not always loudly or gracefully, but you endured. That was no mediocre feat. Survival here wasn't just staying alive. It was sacred resistance. You were pursued because your presence disrupts darkness, not by words or might, but through existence. The adversary could not destroy you, so it aimed to disconnect you, persuading your mind to surrender rather than your body to perish. Yet, divine guardianship intervened. A whisper of hope, the right song at the perfect moment, a friend who called out of the blue, or a sunrise that felt lighter than usual. These were not accidents, but rescues. Your suffering wasn't overlooked. Your quietness wasn't void. Angels respond to unspoken surrender. This internal escape unveiled your greatest strength, a worn-out mind that remained victorious. When darkness observed you still breathing, rising, hoping, it receded. Now you're not just chosen, you are formidable. What tried to bury you is now the foundation from which you rise. What nearly ended you fortified your mission. You didn't concede. You were redeemed. Your recovery is evidence that divine protection saves the soul as much as the body. The third time you faced death, it had a tangible presence, real and daunting. This wasn't an emotional breakdown or a silent spiritual challenge. This was physical. A crash, a violent incident, a failing heartbeat, a mistake that almost cost you everything. Others might have told you afterward that you were fortunate to be alive. But you and heaven understand it was more than luck. It was divine intervention. Though they plot evil against you and devise wicked schemes, they cannot succeed. You will make them turn their backs. Psalm 21:11-12. You weren't merely surviving, you were shielded. Divine intervention stepped in and altered the conclusion. Had it occurred a second earlier or at a different angle, it would have been over. But it wasn't because heaven decreed, not today, not this one. Some of you bear scars from that day, while others carry only a memory, hazy yet intense. Regardless, you were saved mid-collapse, snatched back from a moment that might have ended your journey. Why? Because your story is still unfolding. The work inside you isn't done yet. Your hands still have the potential to heal. Your voice still carries awakening power, and your breath still holds its destined instructions. The adversary perceived that your calling held substantial weight and so targeted you. Yet death continues to fail at its attempts. Having emerged from the fire, you now walk with spiritual depth. You've seen the brink and returned with insight. This isn't survival alone, it's evidence. Proof that your purpose surpasses pain. Proof that divine hands have ultimate say over evil plans. With each rescue behind you, you've been transformed. Now, you're not just protected, but prepared. Your life is no accident. Your delays weren't missteps, but divine arrangements. 3 brushes with death, 3 divine saves. Each of these instilled this truth. Your existence isn't about mere survival, but about the message heaven planted within you. Your purpose is still developing. Don't question if you're marked by divine favor. Your survival has already answered that. Validation doesn't come from titles or acknowledgement. It's etched into your timeline. Experiences that you were not expected to survive. Pains that forged instead of broke you. Every close call was a reminder that you are essential, evolving, and divinely guarded. What you perceived as punishment was actually positioning for empowerment. Each encounter with death didn't just spare you, it activated you. These moments shattered worldly illusions and opened your eyes to the eternal and the spiritual. Near-death experiences leave a lasting impact. They rewire you. Your sensitivity turns into discernment. Your intuition strengthens into guidance. Call to me, and I will answer you and tell you great and unsearchable things you do not know. Jeremiah 33:3. After each escape, your understanding deepened. The trial didn't just spare you, it altered you. What felt like sensitivity now serves as spiritual insight. You began noticing what others missed, feeling the shift in energy before anyone spoke, recognizing order in chaos. This isn't fantasy, it's spiritual heritage. When death spares you, heaven marks you. Dreams become more vivid. Timing feels intentional. Doors close, but with meaning. These changes aren't random, they're recalibrations. You've been in the fire and now you carry its force. Some of you might feel behind, delayed, as if the world powered ahead while you paused in silence. This isn't failure, it's refinement. Those with divine destinies are sometimes hidden until their spirit is adequately prepared to bear their calling. Every setback was course-correcting. Every delay was realignment. The vision awaits its appointed time. Though it linger, wait for it, it will certainly come. Habakkuk 2:3. The adversary recognized your design early on, which is why the attacks began before you had the tools to defend yourself. It anticipated your voice would unsettle systems and your existence would bring healing. Thus, it struck hard through trauma, confusion, and betrayal. Not because you were weak, but because your light was perceived as threatening. The Lord called me before I was born. While I was in my mother's womb, He named me. Isaiah 49:1. Yet here you stand. You didn't succumb. You didn't lose your sanity. Each failed attempt has only reinforced what heaven declared. You are chosen. You're rising, continuously unfolding. Darkness attempted to halt your path, but heaven decreed otherwise. Now that you've survived, move forward with intention. Survival marked the beginning, and now you embark on your path to alignment. You have become more visible in spirit. Your light now cannot be ignored. This means it is crucial to protect your energy. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Proverbs 4:23. Discernment is now your defense. That discomfort you feel in certain environments, that unsettling feeling around certain people, isn't paranoia. It's your internal guidance. Your sensitivity isn't a flaw. It's spiritual wisdom. Cherish it. Defend your peace as sacred ground. Spiritual negligence is no longer an option. Establishing boundaries isn't about arrogance, it's survival. Not everyone is meant to accompany you on your journey, and that's not rejection, but divine separation. Your spiritual practices, prayer, solitude, journaling, fasting, aren't merely routine. They're strategic. They align your soul with divine timing, keeping your spirit attuned to the divine presence. You've witnessed what transpires when your defenses are down. Now you must remain vigilant. Throughout every escape, you were honed, not erased but recreated. You're no longer the same. Your perspective has shifted. You no longer seek distractions. You're drawn to peace, sincerity, truth. After being refined by fire, your quiet presence speaks volumes. You no longer strive for understanding, but have become understanding itself. Your past tribulations were investments, with purpose as their return. You've become a conduit of awakening, and now each step you take carries significance. Every breath serves a purpose. This is your new reality, not just living but activated, not merely chosen but endowed with purpose. You've never been ordinary, and your presence reveals that truth. When you enter a room, the very atmosphere shifts. Some will be drawn closer, others may step back, not because of appearances but because of the essence you carry. There's something profound within your spirit, something inscribed by heaven. You're not only noticed, you're sensed. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Matthew 5:14. Your mark was placed not by humans, but by the divine. You no longer seek validation through applause. You were confirmed by fire, shielded in shadows, sustained when you didn't realize you needed intervention. That assurance is now part of your being. It is why you stand firm when chaos surrounds you, why you don't falter under pressure, why your quietness resonates louder than clamor. You were preserved to become a vessel of healing, clarity, and truth. Healing energy, clarity, truth. The world still requires what lies within you. You are a mirror reflecting what others have yet to recognize in themselves, not because you are flawless, but because you have faced what many dread: despair, surrender, near destruction. And still you remain, not broken, but wiser. You are more than a survivor. You are a vessel on a mission. We have this treasure in jars of clay to show that this all-surpassing power is from God and not from us. 2 Corinthians 4:7. If you ever doubt your transformation, look closely. You are living proof of divine intervention, a breathing prophecy, a vessel that has awakened and been refined. To those unsure or questioning the reality of it all, rest assured, it was indeed real. Those escapes, near misses, those intuitive moments that saved you, each was a divine confirmation. When time paused to avert disaster, when you emerged changed from what should have ended you, these were not random. These were divine intercessions. You've undergone transformation, even if you're still deciphering its full meaning. You were never meant to conform to conventional expectations. Your purpose was to transcend them, to awaken slowly and then suddenly. If this message resonates even in the slightest, recognize that your journey has always been under divine orchestration. Confusion wasn't a shortcoming. It was a part of your discernment journey. It kept you seeking and prepared you to recognize truth when it finally arrived. Now it has. The steps of a righteous person are ordered by the Lord. Psalm 37:23. You were never tardy, nor were your experiences mere imaginings. You were never broken. You were being positioned all along. What felt like delay was God sharpening your spirit for your destiny. It was heaven's way of signaling, not yet, not in this manner. You were not punished, but preserved. Your time in the wilderness wasn't desolate. It was a period of shaping, where you were cloaked in divine protection until the moment was right. Many who rushed ahead of you burned out prematurely. Some doors you desperately wanted to walk through were ones that would have hampered your calling. The delays were acts of divine compassion. There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. Ecclesiastes 3:1. Now, a shift is happening that you can feel deeply. Time is aligning with your purpose, lifting the delays. Acceleration is upon you. What once took years to unfold will now manifest in moments. Everything lost will return, transformed and divinely synchronized. Everything you learned during times of quiet will now serve others. Your preservation was intentional. The adversary tried repeatedly, but it could not halt what was divinely sealed. You were not left behind. You were being prepared for a powerful impact. You are more than a survivor. You are a beacon. You were hidden for refinement, not because you were rejected. Heaven was equipping your spirit for the immense responsibility of your purpose. Now you emerge, complete, prepared, and precisely on time. Dear chosen soul, now that this truth has been illuminated in your heart, don't merely acknowledge it, embrace and live it. The veil has lifted, and your spirit now comprehends what your mind couldn't for years. You were never solitary on your path, never enduring without reason, never surviving by mere chance. The weight you've shouldered was not a curse but a preparation for your true purpose. As you move forward, do so deliberately, beginning each morning with quiet reflection. Spending even a small amount of time in silence can recalibrate your spirit and reaffirm the presence of the divine. Listen to your body as it conveys wisdom. Trust the weightiness you feel in inappropriate situations, and follow the peace that accompanies alignment. Be vigilant in safeguarding your energy. Not every person or circumstance merits access to your inner sanctum. Speak words of affirmation over yourself daily, not simply hoping for protection, but proclaiming it. Affirm, I am protected, I am guided, I am chosen. Communicate these affirmations because power responds to a voiced command.